April 1945. After 6 years of war, Europe faces its final reckoning. American and British armies push into Germany from the west, the Soviet Red Army closes in from the east. Berlin, the heart of Hitler's Third Reich, is the ultimate prize. The city is gripped by fear. Bombing is routine. But now the enemy is at the gates. Refugees flood the streets. Defenders are old men, boys, and the wounded. Hitler, isolated in his bunker, clings to delusions of victory. Stalin wants the Soviet flag over the Reichstag, a symbol of victory paid for with millions of lives. We had come to the lair of the fascist beast. We were here to end it. The final storm is about to break over Berlin. The end of the Third Reich is at hand. The Soviets assemble one of history's largest armies, 2.5 million soldiers, 6,000 tanks, 7,500 aircraft, and 40,000 artillery pieces. Three main Soviet fronts close in. Zhukov's first Belarusian front targets Berlin directly. Konev's first Ukrainian front attacks from the south. Rokossovsky's second Belarusian front secures the north. Stalin fuels rivalry between Zhukov and Konev. Whoever reaches Berlin first claims the glory. Soviet soldiers are driven by vengeance in the hope of finally going home. On the German side, defenses are desperate. 750,000 men, many untrained, defend Berlin. The Volkssturm, old men and boys, make up much of the force, poorly armed and inexperienced. General Heinrici, a defensive expert, knows the odds are hopeless, but aims to buy time for civilians. The Germans build 3 defensive lines. The Silo Heights, overlooking the Oder River, is the strongest. Inside Berlin, the city becomes a fortress. Barricades block streets, windows are bricked up, and subway tunnels are prepared for defense. The plan is to make the Soviets pay for every meter of ground. It's a fight born of desperation, not hope. The Red Army is ready to unleash its might. The Germans brace for annihilation. The world's eyes turn to Berlin. The final confrontation is set. Both sides know the cost will be staggering. The fate of the city, and the war, hangs in the balance. The countdown to the final battle has begun. The Soviet plan is direct unleash overwhelming force in a 3-pronged assault. Zhukov's front will launch a massive pre-dawn artillery barrage, then advance with tanks and infantry. He plans to use 143 searchlights to blind German defenders, but the plan is risky. Konev's front will cross the Neisse River under smoke, then race to encircle Berlin from the south. Rokossovsky's front attacks from the north, cutting off German reinforcements and protecting the Soviet flank. The goal surround and crush Berlin, leaving no escape. General Heinrici, anticipating the Soviet attack, pulls his main forces back before the bombardment, minimizing losses. The Soviet onslaught will hit mostly empty trenches. Heinrici's move is bold, buying precious time for Berlin. The Red Army is determined to break through, no matter the cost. The Germans prepare for a last stand. The battle lines are drawn. April 16, 1945. The Soviet offensive erupts with a thunderous artillery barrage at Silo Heights. Zhukov believes he's smashing German defenses, but Heinrici's troops are safely pulled back. When the barrage ends, Soviet tanks and infantry advance. Searchlights meant to blind the enemy, instead, blind their own men in the smoke. The ground is a muddy swamp. Tanks bog down, infantry struggle forward. German defenders from their positions on the heights unleash devastating fire. Zhukov's quick breakthrough turns into a bloody slog. The first day is a disaster for the Soviets. Meanwhile, Konev's forces cross the Neisse swiftly, break through and race toward Berlin. Konev turns north, aiming to beat Zhukov to the city center. Zhukov, desperate, hurls wave after wave at Silo Heights. For 3 days the battle rages, brutal, relentless, costly. German defenders fight with desperation but are slowly overwhelmed. By April 19th, the heights fall. The road to Berlin is open. The Soviets pay dearly, over 30,000 casualties in 4 days. The Germans lose their last major defensive line. The Red Army surges toward Berlin. Nothing stands in their way now. The city braces for the final assault. The end is near. As the Red Army encircles Berlin, 2 million civilians are trapped in a nightmare. The city, already shattered by bombing, becomes a battlefield under constant shelling. There's no electricity, water, or food. People hide in cellars, desperate to survive. German defenders are mostly old men and boys, armed with Panzerfausts, fighting with hopeless bravery. One officer writes, I have boys fighting for me who should be in school. They die, and it achieves nothing. Soviet soldiers, entering Berlin, face deadly street fighting. Every building hides danger. The combat is close, brutal, and exhausting. Hatred and the desire to end the war drive the Red Army forward. Amid the chaos, some Soviet soldiers commit atrocities, seeking revenge for Nazi crimes. Civilians, especially women, suffer terribly. Yet, moments of humanity emerge. Food is shared. Doctors help all wounded. The lines between friend and enemy blur in the struggle to survive. For everyone, it's without your sword by Sprum, and then I didn't pretend and Dector den thoughts. A Waffenfight dates of a fight for life in a city of ruins. The cost is measured in suffering and loss. Berlin is a city on the edge of collapse. The final battle rages on. By April 25th, Berlin is surrounded, no escape for defenders or civilians. Hitler, isolated in his bunker, rages at imaginary armies as the city collapses around him. The Soviets try to blast their way through but must fight block by block, house by house. They avoid main streets, moving through buildings using mouse-holing tactics. German resistance is fiercest in the city center, where SS troops and foreign volunteers fight to the death. Subway tunnels become battlegrounds, with surprise attacks in the darkness. The battle for Tempelhof Airport is decisive. Once it falls, hope of escape vanishes. The Soviet noose tightens around the government quarter. Defenders are pushed into a shrinking pocket. The sounds of battle close in on Hitler's bunker. The city's end is now a matter of hours. The last defenders fight with nothing left to lose. The Red Army closes in on the heart of Nazi Germany. The final act is about to begin. Berlin's fate is sealed. The Reichstag, symbol of Nazi Germany, becomes the Soviets' final target. Defended by 1,000 determined Germans, it's turned into a fortress. On April 30th, the Red Army launches its assault. Machine gun fire cuts down the first waves. Artillery blasts holes in the walls. Soldiers fight room by room, floor by floor. The battle is chaos, dark, smoky, hand to hand. Meanwhile, in his bunker, Hitler realizes the end has come. He and Eva Braun take their own lives. Their bodies are burned. The man who started the war is dead. His empire collapses. That night, Soviet soldiers raise the victory banner over the Reichstag. The iconic photo will come later, but the message is clear. Berlin has fallen. Fighting continues elsewhere, but the main battle is over. On May 2nd, Berlin officially surrenders to the Red Army. The Third Reich is finished. The world witnesses the fall of Nazi Germany. The cost has been immense. The war in Europe is nearly over. A new era is about to begin. May 2, 1945, Berlin is a city of ruins and death. Over 80,000 Soviet soldiers and countless Germans have fallen. Civilian losses are staggering. Survivors emerge into a devastated world. No food, water, or medicine. The surrender of Berlin marks the end of the Third Reich. Germany's remaining armies surrender. The war in Europe ends on May 8th, VE Day. For Berliners, peace brings hardship, starvation, fear, and Soviet occupation. The city is divided among the Allies, setting the stage for the Cold War. The Battle of Berlin is more than a military victory. It's a turning point in history. Hitler's regime is gone. The world must rebuild from the ashes. The Soviet Union's sacrifice is immense, but the cost is shared by all. The ruins of Berlin are a warning and a hope for a new, peaceful Europe. Out of destruction, a new world will rise. The battle's lessons echo through history. The war is over, but its legacy will shape the future.